Hello, Living Dead Dolls fans. This is Josh, aka Doggiepants, and I'm coming at you with another Living Dead Dolls review. I'm going to keep going today. We're on Series 7. So let's just go to town, because there's a lot of them. Alright, so I'm going to start with the Coffins. Series 7, we see the continuation of the handles on the coffins with the little bats. There you go, it's a nice up-close view. So the standard black coffins, all of the tissue paper corresponded to the deadly sins. So all of the deadly sins have colors that go along with them. This is lust, and the color for lust, though you would think red, no, that's wrath, is actually a deep blue. So that's the color of her tissue paper, and then Gluttony was orange, I believe, and greed is yellow, and envy is obviously green, so forth. Yeah, so that's the tissue paper. I'm going to bring this close because there's a lot of little detail and it's hard to see. So these are the chipboards. It says 7 Deadly Sins right there, and then it has all the 7 Deadly Sins around it. And then it has this drawing, and I believe it's the Dante's Inferno, the layers of hell, I think. I don't know, I could totally be off there, but it kind of has that feel to it, those drawings. So it's definitely people being tortured. And then you'll see it's really hard to read, but it says lust. And then it has their poem, and it has the name that they're known by. So I think it was the Living Dead Doll's intentions to actually not have lust be called lust. That she actually has a name, and it's listed right here on the chipboard, but just over the years they've become known as greed, lust, envy, so forth. But so I'm going to tell you all of their names as we go forward, but that's the coffin. So, again, I'm going to start with my least favorite and go to my favorite, like always. So, first up is Vanity, or Pride, but she's called Vanity through Living Dead Dolls. So, Vanity is an interesting doll. I'm not a huge fan of the design. Never have been. But I will show you her outfit. Her outfit is... it's really kind of bizarre. It's a really kind of scratchy material, obviously black. Pardon my lighting, is per usual. It's one piece. It's like a coat that goes up over her shoulders. You see that there? So it's a coat, and then it ties in 2 places. It ties right here with just a black ribbon, and then it ties kind of right below the crotch area, which is not the most flattering for a lady. There as well. And I'm going to untie these so you can see what it's like underneath. Oh no, of course I got a big old knot. There we go. And this one. Come on, Vanity. So underneath, she has a pretty standard, it's like a purplish pink dress, just all one piece, and it does Velcro right up the back. And then it is attached over the shoulder by 2 little pieces of ribbon. There we go. Then she has the standard Living Dead Doll sandal, and her toes are painted pink, as I don't think her fingernails are because of the gloves, yeah. So just her toenails are painted. And then she has these not very practical gloves for a lady, but they are mesh, kind of see-through material, like a tight fishnet. It is sculpted for her hand, so you'll see she has a thumb, which is nice because, I thought they might have cut that corner, but they didn't. You can actually see that they sculpted it. So she could pick up her martini if she so wished. Her face paint is where it gets really interesting. Obviously, she has had quite a bit of facial surgery. There we go. So we have a lot of drawn-on stitches, bruising around the face. And then we have a clear white eye, so there's no pupil, but it looks like her eyes are swollen shut. There's a lot of detail there. It's almost too much, hard to see. And then she has the plaster and gauze all the way around her head, except for where her ponytail comes out, right there at the top. So this is all permanent. You cannot remove this. I've seen a few people that customize the dolls have removed this before, and she is only rooted... Her hair is only rooted at the ponytail. So just beware. If you do want to take it off and use it, customize her up, you will not be happy with the rooting. And then the hair is kind of a blondish brown. she's Series 7, so she's an older doll, so the quality of the hair is a little rough on mine. But I remember when I first got this doll, the quality of the hair was not great anyways. So just be aware that that's kind of the situation with Vanity. She does come with one accessory. Where did I set it? Here it is. And it's the first time we've seen this mirror. I believe they've used it 2 other times. But it's got kind of like a skull with teeth. And then there's a chopped up picture of a woman's face. And it's kind of going under the assumption that that's who she wants to look like. There's a peg so that she can stick it in her hand as well. So it's a really cute little piece. That's her accessory. So that is Vanity. Moving on. Before I move on, I need a little cheat sheet to remember what their names are because I never remember. So Vanity's real name is Madame Dysmorphic. Just so you know. Moving on. Next up is Wrath. Wrath is a cute doll too. I'm, again, not a huge fan of Wrath. Series 7 was not one of my favorites. There's a few dolls that are kind of iconic and that I love, but a few that I just like, whatever. Take them or leave them. And she's one of them for me. She's very, whatever happened to Baby Jane, fab, I guess. I'll start with her dress. She has this cute little dress. It's all one piece, so it's pink and white checkered. It has 3 buttons down the front. They're just for decoration. They don't do anything, with a little bit of ribbon that goes here and around her waist, and then it does tie right here on the side. It's built into the dress, so you can un-Velcro the dress, and you don't need to undo the ribbon. You can see that there, so it's just stitched in. So that's nice. You can take it off pretty easily. She has this cute little white collar around the top of her neck. And then there's a nice lace detail that goes around the bottom of the dress as well. She has white Mary Jane shoes with a white sock. And then she has this yellowish orange hair. I've seen quite a few girls in high school that had that color hair. And it was always an accident. Very mango colored, if you will. She is a screaming doll. There we go. So she's got a really nice paint job in her mouth. Great teeth. Standard Living Dead doll's eyebrow. She has, I'm going to bring it real close, a white pupil, and then it's her eyes are bloodshot. And she has Standard Living Dead doll's arch. There we go. She is... She does have some flesh tone to her, but it's a little bit on the lighter side, so she looks like she's been out of the sun. Her hair is pretty nice. Again, because it's in these pigtails, it's braided. She only has rooting around the edges. We've seen that quite a bit with Living Dead dolls, so they really were careful on what they needed to root on this series. So, yeah, there's that. So if you do want to take her hair out, just be aware that she will have 2 giant, huge bald spots. So they are braided along the side, and then they do have ribbon in them as well. So it is a really lovely hair cut, and the bangs are really, really cute. It's pretty nice, but it is pretty thinly rooted. And she does have a bit of a wonky leg situation, as does Vanity. This was around the time that it started to get really, really bad. I mean, it was true last series as well, Series 6. But Series 7 seems to be where I've had some of the worst ones. So yeah. Oh, she does come with one accessory as well. She comes with her lollipop. There we go. It's just plastic, kind of exactly what you would imagine. And it does have a little peg for her hand as well. So that is Wrath. And her name is Bad Betty Jane. Yep. So there we go. Wrath. Next up. And this one's tough for me because there's 3 that I kind of like about the same. So I'm just gonna go with him. Gluttony. The only guy with this mold, which I love this mold. I know, I love a little chubby doll. I mean, he's kind of gross, but, I was a little chubby kid, and I appreciate a good little bit of chub. So, Vanity. Vanity? Gluttony. Hello. Very, very cute. So let's start with his outfit. He's just in pants and this apron. So I'm going to start with the pants first, lift up the apron so you can get a really, really good look at it. His pants are really nice. They're denim, so he looks like he's wearing a pair of jeans. Well, he is wearing a pair of jeans, I guess. They're cuffed at the bottom. He has pockets on the back, so it's a really nice detail, and they are working pockets. It's not just stitched to make it look like there's pockets. Those are actual pockets. So you can stick some of his accessories in there if you want. He does not have side pockets, like where you put your keys, just the back pockets, but still, pretty nice detail. He also has this belt, and it's kind of like a pleather material, and it does have a little buckle in the front. It's sewn into the back of the pants, just like we saw with Wrath. So it's permanently attached. You can't take it off. But the pants Velcro just slightly in the back. There's like a little bit of Velcro right there. And then you can take them off. He has a hardcore Living Dead doll brown boot with yellow soles, so it really looks like a worker's man's boot. But no socks on this doll, so just be aware. One nice detail about the boot is that it has some blood on the toes, like he's been stepping through some raw meat, which I think is kind of fantastic. So now, coming right out of the box, you'll see that he has a couple accessories attached to his pants, and they're tied on with a little bit of like twine. One is this giant bone that's on the side of his left leg there, and the other side is kind of the standard Living Dead doll's bloody knife. There we go, we see it. And the bloody knife has a peg to hold, the bone does not. They both hang there. You can untie these pieces of twine and take them off, but he comes like that, and I usually leave it on. So he has pretty much a standard butcher's apron. There we go. So it wraps right around his neck, ties in the back, and then around his belly as well, and then ties back there. So we see that he's got some disgusting filth on the front of him. He has a bloody red handprint, some green goo, all kinds of stuff dripping down him. Yeah, so that's that. I want to take this off so you can kind of get a look at what he looks like without it. Just the mold of the doll, since it is a different mold. There we go. So he does have a pretty nice shape to him. Some man boobs. No nipples, though. He's nipple-free. But he has a really cute belly button. Look at that thing. Adorable. So yeah, so that's his mold. I'm going to show you now some of the cool paint things. Obviously, you probably saw that I poked it through. He has pink underwear, which he's pretty famous for having. There's a couple of Living Dead dolls that have kind of shocking underwear. He's definitely in the top 5. He has blood on the tips of his hands. He's really been working in the meat. And then he has a great tattoo, which is right on the left arm. There we go. And it's a heart, and it says meat across it. Come on. Amazing. His face paint is really, really clean, really, really nice. It's disgusting, and I thought it was a bit too much when I first got it. So it looks like he's been shoving gravy and who knows what into his mouth. And it's dripping down all over the front. Kind of some of that green, also some brown and some yellow in there. His eyes are 2 different colors. It looks like his right eye is red bloodshot. I don't know if you can see it in this light. There we go. But he does have blue eyes. So the same color blue in both eyes. They just look different. One's really, the outside's red and the other one's white. He has some dark shadowing around the eyes and then a really extreme eyebrow that does have a little bit of unique shape to it. There we go. And then there's some extra blood splattering on his face as well. He comes with a couple other accessories that are in the coffin but not attached to him, which is kind of interesting, but they do that sometimes, I guess. And the accessories are, sorry, I'm just going to get this apron on him again a little bit. There we go. So we have another knife because, he's a butcher. He can't have too many knives. This one's serrated, so it's, there you go. I haven't seen a Living Dead doll's knife like this since, so it's a unique mold, and it does have kind of a curly handle, and then it has a little peg on the end of it. And then he has a meat tenderizer. Cute little meat tenderizer, also bloody, also with a peg on the side. Plastic, and he can hold them. I really like the meat tenderizer, and I tend to put it, there's a little teeny pocket right here on the front of his apron, and you can shove some of these accessories right there in the front. So I like to display him with that as well. But that is the amazing Gluttony, who's also known by Vulgar the Obscene. So that is his name. Moving on. Next up is, who could it be? Who could it be? It is Greed. Oh, Greed's hair is a little rough. Pardon me. Give me 1 second. There we go. Her hair is kind of hard to keep out of her face. It's just the way that she's rooted. Greed is a really cool doll. I really liked this doll, and I was surprised by it when she first showed up. I remember that. Really, really nice details. She's got a lot going on. So since there's so much going on, I'm going to start with the dress. Her dress is a really sparkly, like a rich lady kind of feel to it. So it's got some sparkle into the actual stitching. It's one piece, and you'll notice that it comes up over one shoulder, and then that piece of the one shoulder crosses her back there. So that's how it stays on. It does Velcro right here up the back, so you can take it off. It has a little bit of white detail on the bottom. It's kind of furry material. So there you go. It's really small, and it's right around the bottom. And then she has blue sandals as well, but they have some sparkle in them as well. I don't know if you can see that in this video, but it's really, really cute. She obviously has these gloves. The gloves are painted on, so just be aware that you cannot take that off. That is paint. Has some sparkle in it as well. And then she has 2 rings on each finger. So we've seen rings on Living Dead dolls before. They're just on pegs and glued into the hand, holes in the hand. So that's how they work. But there we go. That's those. Her toenails are painted blue as well, just so you know. And then obviously she has all these chains wrapped around her. These chains that you cannot take off unless you actually take like a pair of needle nose pliers and open up one of the rings. So we have one around her left shoe. And this one is a treasure chest. And it looks like there's a few pearls sticking out of it. You cannot open this piece. It looks like you might be able to, but you can't. It's actually just permanently shut. It's true of all these pieces, actually. And then she has the chains that go all the way across her chest in kind of an X pattern and around her neck, and then also on her back as well. So she has 2 boxes of what we're assuming is more jewelry, and they also have a little bit of pearl sticking out of one of them. And then she has these adorable little piggy banks. I mean, stop it, Living Dead dolls, with your little piggy. That's so freaking cute. There we go. And those are a pretty simple little design. Then we get into the face paint. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, she has this same fuzzy that's around the bottom of her dress is around the top of her arm to make it look like it's the top of the glove, but that's just glued on. You cannot take that off. It's a permanent piece right there. So anyways, back to her face. She has 2 earrings. Well, I mean, 1 in each ear. And they are, I'm trying to get you a good look at them. They dangle. So it's 3 little, it looks like pearls with maybe supposed to be a sapphire in the center. But they dangle. They're on both sides. She's looking sideways. She's like, don't touch my jewels. I see you coming. She has white lipstick, which don't think we've ever seen white lipstick on a Living Dead doll before. Then she has this nice airbrushing details, really dark underneath the eyebrows and blue above an arched eyebrow where she's, really worried about who's coming. Then she has this cute little haircut. It does feel like a rich lady. She's got some white there, and then there's a little bit of black rooting on top of it, but it's mostly white. And it kind of has Dottie Rose feel to it without the bangs. Sorry, couldn't think of the word for a second. But it does get a little unruly, and it's really easy to get in her face. So if you are a doll that collects them in coffins, you want to make sure that you see the doll that you're getting before it comes, because you could end up with a doll that you can't even see what she looks like because her hair is completely in her face. The rooting is actually pretty thick. It's pretty decent, and it comes all the way from the top, so you don't see a lot of the bald spots in the back if there is any rooting issues back there. So there you go. That is Greed, and all of her accessories obviously are attached to her. So that is Greed. Next up, I don't have her accessories, and I can't remember. Greed. Her name is. It's my phone. It keeps going to sleep. Greed. Miss McGreedy. Not very clever, that one, but whatever. Oh, I'm going to lose my job. All right, so this is Sloth. Sloth is next. So this is Bedtime Sadie. Sloth, or Bedtime Sadie, we first saw in mini form. So it's a lot of explanation, but I'm going to tell anyways. When Series 2, well, no, actually, when Series 1 minis came out, they also released a set of stationery. So it had pencils and paper and like a ruler and all these really great things, some stickers. It was a really cool little set. You can get it for cheap on eBay, so get it if you can. But one of the other things that was attached was School Time Sadie. So there was a mini School Time Sadie in that set as well. So when they released Series 2 minis, they were like, well, we're a short one because we already released School Time Sadie. What are we going to do instead? So they made Bedtime Sadie, and she was a huge hit. There was a petition to get a full-size Bedtime Sadie. We knew it was coming eventually, and it finally did in Series 7 with the 7 Deadly Sins, and she was able to be Sloth. So here she is, Sloth, or Bedtime Sadie, like it says on the list, and she is adorable. She has footy pajamas. It's all one piece. It velcros right up the back. You're going to notice that on the footy pajamas are little skulls. Another nice detail is in the back. I wish the butt flap actually opened to something. You're not going to be able to see it because of the lighting in here, but there is a butt flap. Can you see that? There we go. So she has a little bit of a flap, and there's 2 little buttons here and a little piece of Velcro, and you can undo it, but it doesn't open to like a bare butt. It would have been really cute if it opened to a bare butt. But, you know, that's all right. Still really, really cute. And then, obviously, she has her little nightcap, which is made of the same material, and it's sewn in a way that it lays kind of sideways. So she really looks like she's getting ready for bed. That is her outfit. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me, sorry. Anyways, so that is her nightcap. Let me see, let me take this off. And again, Velcro's up the back. The one problem with this doll is she has terrible hair. The rooting is not good. It's very thin, and the back of the hair is very choppy. It's a lot of different lengths. And it tends to be really snarled. This is one of my better ones, and it lays a little bit better, but you're going to find that she's pretty rough, and she needs a little bit of tender love when it comes to her hair. And it's sad because a lot of the Sadies in the past, the hair have been really, really fantastic. So just be aware of that. It's pretty thinly rooted too. You're going to notice some huge, huge bald spots. But her face paint is really solid. So she has a black lip. She has a really heavy shadowed eye above her eyeshadow. Then there's the arched eyebrow. And then the sleepy eyes. She has 2 white pupils, and they have little red dots in the center. There you go. So she doesn't have the standard Sadie 1 black eye, 1 white eye, which I was a little bummed by. But she's still very, very cute. And then obviously her forehead is got a cut Z in it as well. So that is Bedtime Sadie, and I believe Bedtime Sadie comes with a book of nighttime stories. It's like Scary Tales or something like that. It looks a lot like the Damien little books. I don't have it, sadly, but I'm sure you can find a picture of it online. So, yeah, but that is Bedtime Sadie. So we got 2 more, guys. I know. Oh, it's a long video. Sorry. Next up is Envy. Now, most people are not fans of Envy. I happen to love Envy. I think she is a simple, really, really cute doll. Design-wise, I mean, what are you going to do for a doll that's like supposed to be envious of everybody else? So they kind of went with this cave person thing, like she doesn't really have anything, or I don't know. Still really cute doll, even if the concept's a little... But that's okay. So here we go. Let's take a look at her outfit. So she is kind of like a little cave lady. This is all, gosh, what is that? Like a felt? She has a felt black one-piece outfit. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how this works. All right, let me start over. Okay, so it is felt. Here we go. So it's like a little bit of a swimsuit, almost looks like, but it is fuzzy. And it is 2 different fabrics. So we've got the fuzzy black felt, and then it's this leopard print. That's all one piece. It makes it look like it's not, but it is. And I'm going to... This bone thing in the center is making it really hard for me to show you. Give me 1 second. Because she has... I can get this around it. Oh, there we go. Is that going to help? No, it's not. It's just the way that it's designed. Well, that's all right. So you're going to see this little piece where it looks like it's hanging. Oh, gosh, I'm not articulating this well. This part and this part is one piece. Then she has this little hangy bits of the leopard print are tied in a little knot on the side of her body, but the knot goes around the bone little thing around her waist. So it's really hard for me to show you exactly what's going on. But basically there's 3 pieces. There's the swimsuit with the leopard print top, the black bottom, the leopard print side tie kind of hip hangy thing, and then this plastic bone belt that goes around her waist. And the bone belt feels a lot like the bone necklace that we saw on Macumba. Actually, maybe exactly the same. And it's made of these exact same material, so it does have a little bit of give to it, the plastic. But it cannot come off. You probably have to stretch it a whole lot to get it around her hips. So just be aware of that. Her hair is pretty decent, actually. It comes a little rough sometimes. A lot of envies you're going to see where her bangs are kind of going like a side swoop and up kind of thing. And I don't know if that was intentional or not. I tend to boil her bangs down, which I don't know if anybody has done that before. You just wrap a rubber band around the head of the living dead doll in the position you want it, dip her in boiling water a couple times, and actually melts the hair, but not too much, but into the shape that it's being set in. So you can lay her bangs down pretty easily. It takes all of 15 minutes. And so I usually do that for my envies because I really, really like them, and I think they look nice when they're like that. She has a little bit of a Betty Page feel to her. She's kind of sexy. So she has this green skin everywhere. She has a bright, bright red lip, white pupil, or white eye, no pupils, and then the black eyebrow. The hair is pretty decently rooted too. It does tend to get a little snarly, so be careful of that. But overall, she's a really, really great doll. And people never seem to be interested, so you can get it for pretty cheap on eBay. I highly recommend it because I like her. She's cute, she's simple, she's beautiful. She's not trying too hard. Cool, cool doll. Obviously, she doesn't come with any accessories because she wants them all because she's envy. And her name is Eve A-Go-Go. Eve A-Go-Go. So then, obviously, last but not least, is most people's favorite from the series, Lust. So Lust is the little naughty devil from this series. Let's take a look at her. Her dress is all pleather. This is all one piece. Obviously, it has the giant slit up the side so we can see her leg all the way up to her naughty bits. She has this red stitching in the front, and that's actual thread. They've sewn through this front. It doesn't really do anything. It's just for decoration. But just so you know, that's actual thread. Then it velcros right here up the back, but they do have a slight hole so her tail can get through. She has the black sandals with black toenail polish, which is nice. And then she has this headpiece, this black leather headpiece. It does have what looks like kind of a widow's peak right up here, holes for the horns. Be really, really careful because these are just cut open, and you can see that mine are already starting to, ooh, there we go, have a little give to them. They stretch out really, really easily. So just be really careful with her in that aspect. I'm going to try to open this up a little bit so you can see how this works. The headpiece is actually attached to the front of the dress. Ooh, can I hold this in a way that you can see it? Probably not. Fat fingers. Man, I'm having some hard time with her outfits, you guys. So you see how that's attached right there? So it velcros on one side around her throat, and that's what holds up those 3 little pieces for the front of the dress. So this dress and the headpiece are all one piece. It can come off, it's a little difficult, and it's really easy to stretch, so I wouldn't recommend it. But it does come off, just so you guys know. And then she has a ponytail very, very similar to Vanity's. Her ponytail is not very thick. It's really, really thin rooting, and it's only in the one ponytail, so just be aware. Then obviously, like I mentioned before, she has the devil tail coming out the back. It's very standard Living Dead Dolls devil tail. Does not have any kind of wire in it, so you can't position it anyway. It's similar to Loose Sapphire and Sin. So there we go. Her face paint is actually pretty simple. She has a black lip. I'm gonna hold it up. Ooh, there we go. Kind of a yellow, sexy eye. Nice mascara. And then some black eyebrows. But that's her. She's pretty simple. She also comes with an accessory. Cat of Nine Tails for you people who are adventurous out there. You'll know exactly what that is, so she can whip all of her suitors. Bam. And it's made out of the same pleather as her dress. So it's pretty little simple piece. Would be easy to rip, so just be careful with it. And then it has a loop at the top that you can wrap around her hand. But that is her accessory, and that is Lust. And she is a dominatrix, and her name is Mistress Demonica. Intense, right? So that is Series 7! This is my longest video I've ever made, and I apologize, but you know what? It was $7. They will never be this long again, so sorry about it. Alright, so we're going to do quick scoring. So I'm just going to hold up one at a time. Vanity. Not a big fan of Vanity, never have been. Going to probably give her 1.5 stars out of 4. Sorry about it. Then we have Wrath. Alright doll. Really nice detail. I wish the hair rooting was a little bit better. She's probably like a 2.5. Then we have Gluttony. Gluttony is a great doll. He's a 3. I would say both Greed and Bedtime Sadie are 3s. Bedtime Sadie would be higher if she just had better hair. And then I would give 3.5 stars to both Envy and Lust. They do have some problems. It could have been a little bit cleaner, could have been a little bit nicer, but they're still really great designs in their dolls that are worth getting. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. I'm going to keep going. Next series will hopefully be a lot shorter because it's only 5 dolls, so there's a lot less to talk about with them. But yeah, oh, that's not true. There's multiple versions, but I'm only going to show you one. Sorry about it. That is it. Series 7. I'll come back with Series 8 next week. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We will smoke them all with an intellect and a savoir-faire. No one in the whole universe will ever compare.